it's time for the main event. It's the boy from Reddick, all grown up. The Wilkinsburg Wonder Kid. Let's get loud for Shannon Norman!
For all the comics you saw tonight. Fucking Brandy and Alex, huh? This is great. We're having a good time? Woo! Yeah, man. Thanks for coming to the barbershop for comedy, right? This is wild. Thank you for coming into this space that answers the question, what happens to an Applebee's when all the microwaves break? Holy hell. You know, I had one job when we opened this place, and that job was decorate it. You're a big guy, you know what guys like, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, hell yeah, guys like Surge. Cool, yeah, because the last time I checked on what guys liked, it was 1997. There used to be a big poster of Tom Green up until about an hour ago. Like, yeah, guys love cruel owl portraits, right? Guys love that, huh? Guys love little pen and ink drawings of houses from San Francisco. Right? But I was like, but it's also a barbershop. Let's do something that's like cool, you know, like a picture of Jay Sebring, who was killed in the Tate LaBianca murders by the man. It's culture. Yeah. Then I was like, oh, I like a Descendant skateboard, because cool teens won't come in here, you know? This is, yeah, and then a Velvet Panther over here, in case anyone wants to have sex in the 1970s in that corner. Yeah, this is, yeah, I put all the shit up on the walls, and it's, because I hadn't been in a barbershop in a long time. I'm a bald boy, you know? Until I started working here, I used to just go in front of a barbershop every 2 weeks and lay down 2 red roses like Michael Keaton in the first Batman. Stand there and just pay a little respect and move on, you know? This is wild. This is nice. It's nice that, you know, we're recording this for the internet and for SoundCloud. I'm gonna rap at the end for just a little bit. And yeah, this is gonna be my second album. My first album, Human Raccoon, also opened with a bunch of visual shit. So if you're listening at home, it all was hilarious and accurate. I don't know why I looked into the spotlight like it was someone, like I'm trying to see out of the earbud. I don't know what that was all about, But this time around, like, I don't have a name for this yet. I don't know what it's going to be called, but I know it's not going to be Human Raccoon, because that album is named after an ass-eating joke. And it's fucking really weird to bring, you know, when your parents are like, so why'd you call it that? And I'm like, oh, well, you know me, I'm always in the trash, right? I think this time, if I'm going to give it a name like that, I'm just going to be real direct to the point. And I'm just going to call the album Blowin' in the Wind. And it's going to be a picture of me on top of a hill just sucking a guy's dick. Otherwise, we'll call it like Party Time. I don't know. You know? I don't know what's cool anymore. You know, I turned 43 recently. I had my 43rd birthday. Yeah, I'm a Leo. You're welcome. But I'm not like a normal Leo. I'm not like, oh, it's my birthday month, or like week or anything. I just want a day, and I want there to be a theme. And it drives my partner kind of crazy. She's like, so what's the theme for the birthday this year? And I'm like, man, it's getting harder and harder. I might drop the theme. This might have been the last year with the theme, because it used to be easy, you know? The theme for birthdays 25 through 36 was just cocaine. I'm like, that's it. We'll get an 8-ball. We'll listen to a Kiss record. 72 to 84 hours later, the birthday party will be over. But now I'm like, oh, I don't know. You know, maybe whistling. That would be cool. I had to think about it. I'm like, 43. What do I want the theme for that to be? Oh, boy. Well, I'm not getting any younger, and there's still aquariums I ain't been to, so pack your bags, baby. We're going to Cleveland, Ohio. And that's what we did. I woke up on my 43rd birthday on a futon that was advertised as a king-size bed, thanks to those fucks at Airbnb, which we're gonna use this as an ad. Fuck you, Airbnb. Right, yeah. Predatory pieces of shit. Also, let's be nice though. They did give me a birthday present, the gift of lower back pain that has not gone away yet from that futon. So I was laying there, looking up at the ceiling, just thinking like, man, I'm 43 now. I'm not a hip young kid. I got to do something to let them know I'm still a hip young kid. So I went out to the mall that morning and bought a new jean jacket. First thing I could think of. I'm like, I'm in Cleveland. What would Machine Gun Kelly do? You know? He'd go to the mall. He'd buy it from the Gap on clearance, a jean jacket with a gift card he got from his mother for Easter, right? Double XL, doesn't close, thanks for noticing. Does not make me look hip and young, I'll tell you that right now. Makes me look like I play bass in a bowling alley karaoke band. I thought about wearing it tonight. I was trying to pick out the outfit for tonight, and I pulled it out of the closet, I put it on, and I was like, nope, looks like I knew too many Bob Seger songs, put it away. Instead, I went with the jumpsuit because I don't plan on having diarrhea today, so. Because this is it, this is the last thing. I've been wearing a lot of jumpsuits over the past year, and this is it. I'm done with fashion. I can't keep up with it anymore. Because kids now are into the 90s shit that all of my high school bullies wore. So I just constantly see kids dressed like Billy Madison in The Craft, and I'm like, someone's about to put my head in a toilet. I don't give a shit now. I bought a pair of Crocs and a pair of Nike Monarchs. I'm ready to cut the grass or go to a wedding. I don't give a shit anymore. It's all about comfort now, you know? And that's it. I'm gonna take a drink of water. I'm very hot. It's hot in here, right? Woo! It's a little bit, yeah. Oh, so dehydrated. It's one of the side effects of being middle-aged. I don't want to brag, but you dry out real quick. You know? I never thought it would happen to me. I thought I'd be young forever. I'd be the first one to break through. I'm cool enough. I saw Rancid 3 times. I'll be 24 forever. No, didn't happen. I'm middle-aged now. And I refused to acknowledge the signs. Like the first sign started around 6 months ago, and it's when I became a random throat clearer. That's my life now. We're just sitting on the couch watching Below Deck Sailing Yacht. Young kid shit, you know? And then I just start going like, like I'm trying to get a security guard's attention during a silent robbery. I'm like, she's like, what is it? You got something to say? I'm like, oh, was I making the noise again? My eyes went milky. There's a storm coming. I should have acknowledged it this past Christmas. My nephew bought me a Whitman sampler. And it was my whole ass Christmas gift too. It wasn't just like a stocking stuffer. It was a whole ass Christmas gift. Unwrapped, because I don't think you're allowed to wrap the Whitman sampler. He walked over to me. I was sitting in the good chair, you know, the one facing the TV. And he walked over, he handed it to me, and he said, "Happy holidays." I'm like, "You're giving me a Whitman sampler. You say Merry Christmas, you little piece of shit." I was mad. I'm mad. Mad. This kid, this little prick's giving me old people candy. Resident young person Shannon Norman of the family. But then I looked at the box and it said inside 22 pieces of candy. I was like, oh, okay, 22 orange cream bars, let's fuck, baby. Then when I opened it, I got offended as a fat person. Because 10 of those pieces of candy are individual chocolate-covered peanuts. Yeah, suck my ass, Whitman. This one, Fuck you, Walt Whitman. Could be him, who knows? But, like, when have you ever been like, oh, I got a sweet tooth, and someone goes, I got one peanut M&M. You're like, oh shit, that's good. I'm ready to go walk the mall. Like a handful of peanut M&Ms. That's a good start, right? Yeah, thank you for agreeing with me. Unlike my doctor, who doesn't like that I measure food by the handful. She's not a fan. I brought it up many times at my last physical when she had the audacity to ask me what my weight loss goals for the year were. She was like, so what do you plan on losing this year? And I was like, well, these are the original holes of the belt, so stay the course. You know? I'm good to go, baby. And then she said, I understand that like weight loss can be a scary journey, but if you put a small manageable number on it, it can help you get there. So what can I put you down for? 5, 10? Like she's trying to raise money for the March of Dimes. Like, okay, doc, I got an idea. I want to lose enough weight so that when a stranger on the street yells, hey, yo, big man! I don't immediately know he's talking about me. I want to lose, I don't know, what is that, 12, 17 pounds? Like, I just want 5 seconds where I can be like, oh, who's he talking about, huh? Oh, it's me? Can I help you, sir? So let's get there. So, we're going to get there. At least that's what I told her, but we'll figure it out. I'm just trying to come to terms with it, because I used to party. I could hold my own with the best of them, I used to fucking do wild shit, like drop acid and set up fraudulent E-Trade accounts. But now I'm saying shit to waiters like, oh, I can't have too many nightshades. I used to dip out of a party early and be like, oh, I gotta go talk to my herbologist. And it just meant I was going to go buy weed in Swissvale. But now when I'm like, oh, I'll catch up with you later, I got to talk to my herbologist. I'm on a Zoom call with a woman in Fort Collins, Colorado, who's trying to fix my gut biome. I don't know. I'm just trying to be hip and cool, and I've tried a couple different things. Like the most recent one is I bought a trumpet. No bad ideas in a brainstorming session. I bought a trumpet. Do you know they'll just mail you a trumpet? Like if you got $87, they'll just put one in a box and send it to you. No background check. No 2-day cool-off period. Not even a courtesy email that's like, hey man, do you share walls? I've lived in my place for 7 years and I met neighbors I did not know that I had. And they were not there to reform the Mighty Mighty Boss stuff. So I got the trumpet. Well, let's be honest here. 6 months before that, I got a medical marijuana card. Does anyone else here have the medical marijuana card? Yeah, a couple of people in the back also have the incurable disease called lying to a doctor. Got a medical marijuana card. First thing I did with it was I watched all 8.5 hours of Ken Burns' documentary Jazz one Saturday. No breaks. And at the end of it, I was just like, I could do that. And here we are, I got a trumpet, we got a cat, my partner and I live together. We got 2 cats now, my partner and I, and sorry, I should stop right there. She doesn't like when I use the term partner to describe her because she's made it very clear to me that we're not equals. Little awkward, But she had to sit me down and go, listen, Shannon, I'm a licensed therapist in the state of Pennsylvania, and I hold a master's degree from a university. You, on the other hand, got a Bart Simpson tattoo at a punk rock festival. And I was like, oh shit, no, I hear the pay grade difference. I'm your boyfriend. So we have 2 cats now, but at one point we only had 1 cat. We had an 8-year-old cat, and she started getting separation anxiety from us. And I, with my new knowledge from the medical marijuana card, I was like, listen, babe, I've been doing a lot of research on these animated Disney documentaries. You know what we should do? We should get a kitten. Because then 8-year-old cat will have the kitten, and she's got motherly instincts, and they'll have adventures. They'll sing songs. They might even make a sandwich. Who knows? Chris Pratt might voice the kitten. Who knows? So we got a kitten, and the 8-year-old cat, like I predicted, started handing out life lessons. First life lesson she taught is that she does not give a fuck about the kitten. But that kitten is now my best friend in the whole wide world. Whenever I'm at home, he's next to me, and I'm petting him. Love him with my whole heart. I love this dude so much. Oh God, I just want to say into this camera, little man, I fucking love him. Honestly, I can't wait to show you this. God, yeah. I love this dude so much, I started peeing sitting down at home so I could pet him more. That's fucking real love. Oh, you got married, Garrett? I pee sitting down so I can hang out with my cat. We're just laying on the couch, you know? She comes home from work on a Monday. I'm there shirtless, kitten's laying on my belly. I'm holding his paws. We're watching Sister Wives on HBO Max. For like 5.5 hours, you know? She just goes, this is a weird relationship you two have. I don't like it one bit. And I'm like, no, we're just best friends. This is how best friends hang out. We're just having a brat summer, you know? Thank God you weren't here a half hour ago when we split an Italian hoagie, though. Episode ends, I look at him and I go, I don't think Cody Brown's ever building these houses, bud. But come on, before the next one starts, I gotta go. We go down the hall, you know? I'm sitting there, I'm peeing, I'm petting him. You know what I'd be doing, right? Taking breaks when I can, original knees, you know? This little dude decides to jump in my underwear like it's a hammock. I'm like, all right, man, come on. We got to have a couple rules in this house, you know? I might have to put a door in this bathroom or something. So it's just the 4 of us hanging out there. I'm chasing them all around. All 3 of them hate all the free jazz they're getting. Me and my trumpet. And I'm like, it's the notes I don't play, you know? What are you complaining about? This is free. It cost me $87. Am I right? Nailed it. Well, you know, we live together. We've been living together for a while. The old partner and I, you know, and people ask because since she's a therapist, they're like, what's it like living with a therapist? Is she like always trying to get you to talk about your thoughts and feelings? I'm like, yeah, it's a relationship, idiot. Of course. She's just a person, you know? She's just like, we hang out together and she's fun, you know? Like this morning, I was getting ready to come over and set all this up, and I was like, hey babe, I gotta stop at Target. Do you need anything? And she kicked the bedroom door open and was like, yeah, I need Pilot G2 pens and tampons, because I like to write while I bleed. And then just walked away, leaving me with the knowledge I've been having sex with DMX for 6.5 years. Holy shit. It's insane. We like the rap music here? Yeah? I had to Google Brat Summer. I don't know any new music at all. So all of my favorite rappers are over 50. And all of them, I've been listening to them since I was a teenager. And there's stuff like I remember my dad in the 90s when he heard Nas, he was like, this is garbage. But now Nas in his 50s rapping about gout. And I'm like, hey, Dad, if you're ever in an elevator with Nas, you have something to talk about. Pretty cool. Snoop Dogg, I love Snoop Dogg, but it's crazy that we've accepted him as just like, he's America's fun uncle. And it's like, in the 90s, he was considered a menace. People were afraid that kids were going to join gangs. My parents specifically thought I was going to join the Crips. Because they found the gin and juice single. They were so concerned about it, they took my Walkman. And then a couple years ago, my mom was like, Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart endorsed these lighters. I thought you'd like them. And I was like, where the fuck is my Walkman? He's a menace to America. That's what they said on the news. On his last album, he raps about making turkey bacon for a woman after a night of amore. You know? He went from Stone Cold Killer to heart healthy. It's insane. What's that, Garrett? An impression? Okay, fine. I'll do an impression. Here's an impression of Dave Matthews seeing his firstborn child. A little baby! We did it. It's the whole thing. Oh, this is fun. Lake crowd. There's a couple people having drinks, huh? Yeah. Right? Well, White Claw, a spin drip. Get the fuck out of here. This is nice. It's nice to see people just having some drinks and stuff. I just got to stick to the water because I haven't had a drink in 4 years, 8 months, and 1 day. Equally as impressive, I have not had a DiGiorno pizza in 4 years, 8 months, and 1 day. Mainly because I don't think they're legally allowed to sell them to sober people. I think everyone, when you get hired at Rite Aid, they go, okay, now at 2 a.m. you hand it to them and you say, this is going to take 45 minutes to burn. Make sure you fall asleep. Make sure you fall asleep to an episode of Columbo on Tubi. But I had a good ride. But I had to quit drinking because I only had 2 levels of drinking, and that was first drink of the night and blackout drunk buying switchblades on Amazon. Did you know they sell switchblades on Amazon? No? Well, here's something else that's going to blow your socks off. Even if you don't have Prime, they give you free shipping when you buy 24 of them. Yeah. Found that out on them streets. I was, back then I was at a barbecue and I was drinking, and people at the barbecue were talking about how they want to open an Amazon fulfillment center in our neighborhood. And everyone at the barbecue was against it. They were like, it's going to mess up the infrastructure. It's going to tear up the roads. It's going to cause pollution. And all I heard was, they're talking shit about my boy. Jeff needs me. Let me tap in. And I got up there and I was like, Amazon's the greatest thing to ever happen to this world. They got everything. I bet you they even got switchblades. And then I pulled out my phone, and then it was tomorrow. And then the next day, there was a box on my porch, which was a normal occurrence back then. And I was like, oh, I got myself a present. What's in here? 24 switchblades. It's a weird party I'm about to throw, but all right. And I didn't do the smart thing. I was about to go out on the road and do some shows. I didn't take them to Whole Foods and one by one put them into the return box. I was like, ooh, I got a good idea. I know what I'll do. I'll write my Instagram handle on them and sell them as merch. That'll be hilarious. Well, I got as far as Omaha, Nebraska with those, and a guy came up to me and he said those words that everyone longs to hear when they're traveling by themselves across the country. Hey, let me give you some advice as an off-duty police officer. He was like, those switchblades you said you were selling, they're illegal here. And sounds like everywhere you've been, including the state you bought them in. And I was like, oh, well, I mean, like, Alexa thought it was cool, so I thought it was just like a wink, you know? But I got bad news for you. I just sold the last one, so can't catch me, copper. That's what I said to a man's face. Like a cartoon dog from the 1940s. I called him Copper. That's how secure I was in this jailhouse logic. And then my mind started spinning, and I realized that all I know about police work is Criminal Minds marathons on Thanksgiving. And like, even your first day on the force, you walk into a cornfield, and there's a switchblade sticking out of a guy's chest, and it says "at Shambones" on the side. You're gonna be like, why don't we pull up this rascal's Instagram, see where he's been recently? But that's it, and so I had to stop, and it's been pretty, the transition was pretty smooth for me. Mainly, I'm really grateful for the fact that I no longer have to pretend to understand the complexities of beer. Because a lot of comics run shows in microbreweries, and they're into like craft beer and shit, and they're like, oh, you gotta try this, it's a jalapeno stout, or this is a ghost with a huckleberry on the back end and shit. I'm like, listen, man, my teeth don't even get wet when I drink. Like, I'm not in this for your flavor profiles. I want to chug 14 of something and fight something shaped like my dad. That's what I'm into. And all I learned in all the years that I drank is that when one of those people hand you a beer and they go like, oh man, try this. You just take a sip and you go, ooh, it's hoppy. And then they leave you alone for a little while. That's it. That's it. And now I don't have to do that because it's just like a water or soda water, and I can just like take a little sip. Ooh, that's wet. And that's it. That's the whole interaction. But every once in a while, someone will get like, try to be a dick about it, about not drinking. They're like, oh, you're going to have a seltzer water? Oh, you're going to have a little angry water? Is that what you're going to have? And I'm like, no, a seltzer water is a delightful drink. You put a little lime in it, maybe cranberry juice on the weekends, huh? You know? Just a fun little thing to cut loose with. It's not angry water. You know what is angry water? Miller High Life. LaCroix never made me climb into the Pirates dugout after Huey Lewis and the News played PNC Park because I wanted to meet the pierogies. But Miller High Life sure did. Here, let's do an ad. Miller High Life, fight God. So that's it, you know, and I'm out. I don't have to worry about these complexities of alcohol anymore. I don't have to worry about, every once in a while, you know, someone's a little bit of a dick, but, you know, I thought everything was gonna be just perfect after that, but, you know, these microbrew people, have you seen what they're doing to coffee now? Because they fucked up the last thing. It's like all I got, you know? It's just coffee. You know, I can't do daytime cocaine anymore, but I can have 14 cold brews and vibrate through time. But they do that and they're like, ooh, this is the winterberry, and this has some black chocolate in it, and you should just do, and it's got a raspberry taste to it if you just let it sit on your mouthpiece. And I'm like, you're being pretty pretentious about something I can buy in a fucking gas station, okay? Like, coffee used to just be made by Maxwell House and it sucked and people drank it and went to work. Like, you're being kind of pretentious. Next you're gonna be like, oh, these are small batch hand dipped Rice Krispies treats. Like, get the fuck out of here. There's a coffee shop in Pittsburgh. We'll cut it out. It's there's a coffee shop in Pittsburgh that I went to, and I went, oh man, I got some time. I'm gonna sit down, get a cup of coffee. Ooh, pour over. That sounds fun. I'll get that. I got some time, you know, have a little afternoon with myself, you know. And I looked at it, and on the board, it said, pour over coffee, market price. Yeah, like fucking crab legs. Like, get out of here. What are you doing with your life? Like, I just waited in line to just go to the barista, like, hey, excuse me, how much does this motion cost today? How many sailors lost their lives off the coast of Juneau, Alaska, for you to bring this motion back? Get the fuck out of here. The one time I ran into some problems with not drinking was last year. I went to a bachelor party, and I was surrounded by people drinking all weekend, and that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was they were all there to talk about college sports. Well, they were all into it, and everybody was having a good time and stuff, but they kept trying to bring me into the conversation. I was like, I'd rather just look at my phone and have autism, please. Thank you. I don't know. We went to a batting cage, and they watched me miss 14 slow pitches. And they still were like, who do you got in the Duke game? I'm like, I can't piss over my own balls, guys. They go, well, who do you like? Who are you watching? You're watching Duke's on, and then we're going to watch highlight later, and then there's basketball. And I was like, look, I didn't go to college. I don't watch college sports. I don't have any skin in the game. It doesn't interest me. I used to watch community college sports because I went to community college, but I had to stop when A&E rebranded that as intervention. What's that, Garrett? Another impression? Okay. Here's an impression. I gotta, this is a very current one. It's the singer from the Bare Naked Ladies letting you know who his favorite actor in Harold and Kumar Goes to White Castle is. Hold on. Cowpen. All right, we did it. Anybody got one of those little libraries in their neighborhood? Yeah. Oh, I'm helping the community. Like, just throw the books away. Don't build them a little house. How come there's never anything good in these things, huh? It's just full of John Grisham novels. The next John Grisham book is going to be released into the little library. I don't understand it. And I get it, because I used to be a big fan of going to half-price books. I'm like, well, these books will get redistributed to people. Until I went there once and I watched a man wearing a shirt that said banned books, and one of the N's in banned was red and one of the O's in books was red. No banned books, whoa, right? I watched a man wearing that shirt dump a garbage can of books into a dumpster. You can read Tom Sawyer, but if the cover's ripped, into the fucking garbage it goes. I like the cow pen joke. I'm gonna miss doing the cow pen joke. Took me 2 years to write the cow pen joke. Not a fast writer. I spent the first 4 months of lockdown working on a Cartman impression. This is all I came up with. That's it. Months in a mirror. What if I dress like him? No, never worked. This is how I dress. This is me. I'm Shannon Norman. It's my name. Thank you. That's the name my parents gave me. My middle name's Patrick, so if you're keeping score at home, Shannon Patrick Norman, 3 first names, none of them tough. 3 names sound like they should be operating the cameras here. They're all cool. They all have fucking cool and hip names. That made me mad, because I'm Shannon Patrick Norman, you know? It's an Irish name. That's what my mom would always be like, it's an Irish name. It means little old wise man. And I'm like, oh, you want to come out into these 1990s streets and tell them that? Because I tried that and they were like, yeah, it means little bitch. I'm like, oh, little old wise man in Gaelic, huh? Well, I just learned what a Timberland boot tastes like. So, could we call me Paul? No? Okay. That's the name. Yeah, that's the name they gave me, and that's the name that it's been getting me misgendered over the phone and in print my entire life. And the first time it happened, I was 12 years old, and Women's Day magazine sent me 3 samples of pantyhose, hoping I would get a subscription to their fine periodical. And this is early 90s, pre-internet. I kept those motherfuckers. I kept them. I took them into the woods and unrolled them for my friends. And I was like, this is where the girl parts go, guys. We're going home. The most recent time, it still happens. The most recent time happened on, I don't want to brag, I was on a website called Craigslist. And I was just doing hot-ass lady shit on there. And, hot-ass lady shit, like trying to buy a dartboard. And I exchanged a couple emails with this guy. And in the final one, I went, oh man, I could come pick this up after I get off work at 7 o'clock. And he wrote back, anytime after 7:30 is good by me. Wink emoji. He fucking wink emoji'd me. He was like, oh, I'm gonna fuck this lady. I'm gonna fuck this lady who in her last email said, this dartboard's gonna be tight. I'm going to have sex with this woman who in the email before that asked if you flip the dartboard over, if you could play baseball. And when I told her that you could, she responded, that's dank. Which is crazy for him, but also like insulting to me. You think that hot-ass woman about town Shannon Norman is gonna fuck your dusty ass to save $10 on a dartboard? Get out of here. Who sees the name Shannon Norman and is like, she fucks? Shannon Norman is the name of a proud white Christian woman from Wilmington, Delaware. Yeah, not some Jezebel about town. It sounds pretty specific, right? Well, it is, because when I signed up for Twitter.com, another website, I couldn't get the username at Shannon Norman because it had been taken by a proud white Christian woman from Wilmington, Delaware, who once a day tweeted out a line of the Bible. I follow her. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's boring, But I decided right then and there when I couldn't get the name Shannon Norman, I was like, I'm just going to start following all the Shannon Normans. I'm going to collect them all. So at one point, whenever their lives are ruined by me, they can go, oh, it's that guy. Because I'm out here doing this. I'm going around giving little speeches and stuff, and it's affecting people. Like, there is a Shannon Norman from Kansas City, Missouri, that I have been in conflict with on Google for 5 years now. Some years, I'm the top result. Other years, it's her. And I feel bad for her because she's a lawyer. She has a family law practice. Shannon, I'm sorry. Because some years, if I'm the top result, and someone in Kansas City, Missouri is like, oh man, you're going through a divorce, that sucks, but hey, I got a great lawyer for you, Shannon Norman, Google her. And then it brings up my Twitter that's like, there should be a hentai Bible. I don't want to sound weird, but what if a Nintendo had big tits? And then that guy's just like, I'm somehow going to get lethal injection in this divorce. What the fuck? So I feel bad, I don't know. How's my posture? Yeah, how's that?
You got it.
Yeah? I've been worried about it because I saw some video of myself recently doing a show and I was like this because I had just come from work. I work right here. This is great. This is, well, man, what a racket to just start to work and do comedy here. And I'm like, I could just hang out in this one spot all day. Anyway, enough of that. But I had just come from work, and here at work, I only have two modes of posture, and it's like up close, making sure that everything's blended properly, and penis on your arm. So in my normal life, in the day-to-day, I try to split the difference. Yeah. This has been a lot of fun. We're all having fun here, huh? You know, with the decorating thing, by the way, let's go back to this for a second, because I tried to figure out what I was like. I know what guys like cool Hollywood tough guys that will never be in trouble, like Johnny Depp and Chevy Chase. Yeah, and Jay Sebring, remember him? Tate LaBianca murders. I don't know. It's well, yeah, it's about time. Let's get political. Let's talk politics, everybody. I got one question, it might divide the room. Who here owns a sword? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, yeah. Sword crowd, I bring the sword folk in, you know? Why do you own a sword?
It was my grandfather.
It was your grandfather's, okay, I hear that.
In Japan.
Yeah, in Japan, okay, and cool. No further questions? All the way in the back.
My dad made it for me.
Your dad made it for you. That's a new one. That's cool and weird. Why do you own a sword?
Nobody can answer that.
Okay, fair enough. Right. Blur his face out. All acceptable answers. I also would have accepted I was high at a flea market. All good answers. I'll tell you, not a great answer for why you own a sword. And it was told to me in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I was in Scranton, Pennsylvania, everybody. You know, just like Harry Houdini's museum for some reason. Yeah, there's a fucking Harry Houdini museum. Let's pause tape. Let's talk about this. No, back to it. So I was in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and after the show, I went back to the promoter's house where I got to say something that I'm sure a young George Carlin once said. Hey man, mind if I move this sword so I can sleep on your couch? And let the record show that I'm being real generous with couch, because it was a love seat at best. But he said no, the sword had to stay on the top of the couch. It was its place, and that's where it belonged. I was like, all right, man, you got me. Why? Why does it have to stay there? And I'll never forget, he looked at me, and this is the exact sentence that he said. Protection. With a period. All right, man, protection from what? He said, in case anyone ever kicks in my front door with an Uzi, I'll be ready. Ready to what, man? Die holding the most expensive thing in Scranton, Pennsylvania? Hey, everybody, this has been fantastic. You've been a great crowd. Thank you so much. I love you all. Good night.
Said to me, son, you'll grow up way too fast. Now I'm all grown up and I can see just what they mean. Stop my living in the past. But I say no, I never wanted to be free. All in my society, you are such an awful shame. But I know what they're gonna blame. grown up and I can see just what they mean, 'cause I'm really doing fine. But I say no, no, I never wanted to be free. All in my society, you are such an awful shame, but I'm the one they're gonna blame. Mom and Dad, they said to me, son, you'll grow up way too fast. Now I'm all grown up and I can see just what they mean. Stop my living in the past. But I say no, no, I never wanted to be free.